Once outside, we scan the horizon, trying to orient ourselves towards a volcano.
Excuse me.
Hi? Hello? Who is this? Hello? A new individual, a new character who full on sprite and everything has entered in. I whirl around and come face to face with a woman wearing just enough fabric to cover her essentials and nothing more. Her long brown hair is tied up in a ponytail, which falls down her neck and frames her very ample chest. Don't look at her boobs. Oh boy! Oh boy! All right, that's the first. That's the first choice we get here. The plot thickens. And who are you? Sure, yeah, we'll go with that. Hello. I find the urge to look towards where my eyes are drawn and keep them firmly planted on her face. Jesus Christ, them jiggle physics. Good lord, okay. Good animation, good animation. A smile twitches on her lips, almost as if she can sense my struggle. She shifts her weight, which inevitably causes a jiggle, which of course I don't notice.
Hello.
She grins slyly.
Who are you?
Zack steps in front of Amelia, who frowns and steps away. I guess he's taking this bodyguarding business really seriously. Diana folds herself stiffly, ready to move if necessary. The woman salutes.
Cara Noir, treasure hunter extraordinaire.
Zack narrows his eyes.
What do you want with us?
Well, I couldn't help but overhear that you're interested in the fire temple.
How did you hear us when we were inside?
She taps her nose knowingly.
I have very sensitive hearing.
I fail to understand how our interests are of relevance to you.
I was just getting to that. You see, I've come to offer an extension of friendship.
Both Diana and Zack raise an eyebrow.
Or at least an extension of mutual benefit.
Okay.
It's true that the villagers maintain the fire temple, but from what I've discovered, they are unaware of the temple's secret passage. If you're interested in the energy of the temple, I can guarantee that's where you'll find it.
If the villagers don't know about the secret passage, how did you find it?
It's all a part of the treasure hunting gig. You have to be looking for it to find it.
Carol winks and gives us a thumbs up.
The best part is that I've already disarmed or made a note of most of the traps in there.
There are traps in this temple?
The temples are a sanctuary for the elementals, but any place that is easily accessible is sure to attract all types. There are measures set in place to protect the spirit from those who wish to harm it.
Like I said, I've disarmed most of the traps, but not all. There is one magical barrier at the end of the tunnel which I've not yet been able to pass. I don't have magic, but you do.
She gestures to Liana and Amelia.
If you can magic that barrier away, then that's at least one step closer to finding your energy.
Is it that easy just to magic it away? Zack crosses his arms and glares at Kara.
How does that benefit you?
She grins.
All I'm interested in are the artifacts and relics. From the sounds of it, you guys are more interested in something else, hence mutually beneficial. So, what do you think?
I look at the rest of my group. Wordlessly, we huddled close together and whisper. I don't trust her, there's plenty of reason for her to join. There is plenty of reason to join. She did disarm the traps and she has found a tunnel for us. I won't be let her join us.
If she's already marked the passageway and traps, then we can just follow her markings and break the barrier ourselves. I can't think of a reason why we would need to bring her along.
I can think of two. Sneak around, glance at Kara's chest and smirk. God damn it, no, no, bad them.
I must concede that I am impressed by her resourcefulness. It is plainly evident that she is not a native to Embermist, which means she somehow discerned the location on her own.
That's a really good point. Diana looks thoughtful.
As a treasure hunter, her tracking skills could come in handy in the future.
We'll stare at Zack. He shrugs.
Do what you want.
That sounds like a yes to me. Zack doesn't respond. He just fixes his steely gaze on me.
So does this mean we're agreed to join up with Kara?
We all nod.
Hi.
Pongo sits in the middle of a circle and blinks happily. What do you even go when you're in hiding?
Hi boy. Let's go tell Kara.
Pongo just appears with us anytime he goes. Honestly, I feel like he's the anomaly. I feel like the Pongo is the anomaly. He's gonna be the alpha and the omega in the entire story. At the end of this whole thing, Pongo turns out to be the evil mastermind behind this. He's not just Pongo, but he's like some demonic lord of darkness or some shit like that. I don't know. I don't know. He's gonna be some sort of a time lord or something. He is the one that created this whole anomaly, the rift in space, made us appear out of nowhere. I don't know, man. I don't know. We turn around and Kara stands right behind Liana, her face only inches away. Liana lets out a startled gasp. Jeez, what is she? Some kind of a ninja? Kara rubs her hands excitedly.
This will be fun!
Wait, we didn't give you our answer yet.
Oh, sorry.
She says back and gestures for Liana to continue. Liana speaks awkwardly. I guess she feels a little silly saying what Kara somehow already knows.
Well, we decided to take you up on your offer.
Kara nods.
Excellent! Since we're going to be working together, first things first. You all know my name, but I don't know yours.
I'm Liana.
Mage-Knight from the guild?
She nods.
I am Amelia Estelle, a Mage-Caster from the Mage Academy.
Kara blinks.
A student to become a Mage-Caster? But you look just like a teenager.
Amelia cocks her head to the side.
It is natural that my physical appearance would represent my age.
She looks at Amelia with respect.
That is pretty impressive. Who's next?
She looks at Zack.
Zack.
She chuckles.
Very clearly a mercenary.
And I'm them. Her green eyes study me, and thoughtfully although she's very clearly examining me, I don't feel uncomfortable under her stare.
Now that that's out of the way.
Boy.
Kara steps back and views a Pongo on my feet.
You have a bongo! How cute!
She reaches down and pats him on the head. He beams at her touch.
And what's your name?
She glances at the rest of us, but none of us make a move to answer.
Oh, is he not a part of your group?
He is. Sort of.
And you haven't named him yet?
Liana and I shuffle uncomfortably. Zack remains unchanged while Amelia frowns.
A Pongo is a wild creature.
Kara straightens and pats Amelia on the head, much to her dismay.
If you say so. Okay, are we ready to get going?
Murmur our assent, and then Kara leads us out of the city. I swear, the Pongo is the alpha and the omega in this entire story, in this entire phenomenon. He was the some sort of a I don't know, a disguised Time Lord that summoned us into this place, and he's gonna be with us throughout this entire journey. I swear, that's what's gonna be happening. As I walk, another ominous rumble sends butterflies to my stomach. Can't shake out the feeling that we are literally walking into a fire. I glance at the others, who seem unfazed. I guess it's just me. Pushing my insecurities down, I silently follow the group towards the temple. Just as Elder Eisen noted, the temple is a short walk out of the village, on a well-worn dirt path. The road is mostly empty, with only one or two travelers coming back toward the village. Temple is an open structure with a roaring fire in the middle of a grand hall. Oh. Okay, that actually looks really dope. I like that. I like the fire art as well. That looks really freaking cool. Now, a lot of people appreciate the background artists that go through the painstaking process to create these backdrops. But this is some top-notch stuff, seriously. A+ for whoever did this. Jesus. High columns with flames carved into them hold up the building. Adorning the stone walls are beautiful tiled mosaics. There's one wall with some strange symbols scratched on them. They're very faded, and I have to squint to make it out. From what I can make out, 4 symbols surrounded darkness in a square, with a line of fire enclosed the perimeter, trapping the darkness in the center. Huh. I wonder what that is. Millie glances over, then peers at the carving.
Those symbols represent each of the magical elements.
She points to each one.
There is fire, water, earth, and wind.
Then she points to the center.
And that is shadow.
I've never considered shadow an element before.
It is one of the elemental magics.
Kara, Zack, and Liana have already moved on, so the rest of us hustle to catch up. Beside us, the only other people in the temple are the monks who care for it. They're dressed in woven red robes, in some open and loose styles as the villagers from Embermist. Quietly, they shuffle back and forth, sweeping the floor off, relighting any of the smaller fires which have burned low. The Pongo looks around and wonders in reverence. At the sight of the giant flame, he squeaks and hops onto me, claiming his spot on my shoulder. Kara bows briefly before a large flame that leads us to the back of the chamber, stops in front of an empty wall.
We're here!
Zack sighs. Secret passage. Let's take a little and join us. Secret passage? Kara might be a little out there, but I don't get the impression that she's stupid. Must be more to the wall than first meets the eye. Is there a mechanism hidden somewhere which triggers the doorway? Kara's eyes glitter.
Bingo!
With the gaze fixed on us, Kara pushes onto a brick and a segment of the wall pushes in and swings open. She waves at the opening with a flourish.
Ta-da!
But how do you know so much? How do you know which brick to push in?
It usually depends, but in this case, there's one brick that sticks out slightly more than the others. If you weren't looking for it, you won't see it.
She heads through the opening and pushes the wall close behind us. That's actually kind of true. Usually if there's some sort of a hidden wall with the brick opening mechanism, usually there's one brick that looks a little shifty or a little out of the place, you know? That's a good point, actually. She leads us down Sorry, I didn't want to talk over the footsteps, it's kind of loud. Then she leads us down a winding stone stairway, which ends at the beginning of a narrow passage. Following behind her, she carefully picks her way down the hall. Ooh. That looks cool as well. I appreciate the work that goes into this, seriously. The special like little effects and little sprinkles left and right. I like that. I like that a lot. It's a very plain stone hallway with the wall scones lighting the way. I look down at my feet and notice a brick with an X marked on it. Avoid it? Yeah, we're gonna avoid it. I have a feeling this X didn't make its way onto the stone by itself. I better not touch it. Gingerly I step around the brick. A few feet away I spot another X. Is anyone else seeing these random X's? Carol glances back.
I should hope so. I left those there so as not to set off the same traps again.
Makes sense. Resume walking. Deeper we travel, the more X's we notice. Wow, there are a lot of traps in here. Zack pauses in front of a corridor where the walls are covered in X's.
Why are there so many X's on this wall?
Carol looks down at the same passageway.
Oh, it's a two-part trap.
She points to a stone on the ground with the same X marking.
Basically, if you step on the ground stone, it triggers thick bars to shoot out from all the X's in the wall and block the path.
That doesn't sound too bad.
Only if you know how to limbo. The bars have something keeping them hot and will burn you if you touch it.
Okay, that sounds worse.
And you were able to cross that?
Carol winks.
I am very limber.
I expect Zack to brush off a comment like he brushed off every other girl, but he actually looks impressed. Amelia looks between Zack and Kara.
Based on the dilation of Zack's pupils, it appears that Kara's flexibility is attractive to him.
Okay. Alright. Oh, okay. The robotic sense that Amelia says everything is kind of funny. Zack is taken aback.
I was just thinking that it's a useful skill set to have.
Kara has a mischievous glint in her eyes.
Useful skill set to have. In what context?
Zack frowns.
For scouting and navigating. You've done a thorough job mapping this place out and marking the traps.
Liana looks amused.
Zack, was that a compliment?
He glares at Liana.
No, an observation.
Kara smiles playfully.
Then thank you for the observation.
Zack falls into silence before turning away. I think that's the most I've ever heard of him talking in the past 30 seconds in a 30-second span. We continue through the tunnels. Eventually, she stops in front of another well of fire in the middle of the hall.
The barrier's here.
She gestures at the swirling metallic wall behind the well. The way that it glitters as it wisps and curls almost looks like a fire. Liana and Amelia step closer and inch their hands in front of them before gingerly touching the barrier.
It's surprisingly solid for something that looks so gaseous. Maybe there's some wind magic interwoven with whatever other magic is here.
The Pongo hops towards the stairs in his eyes.
Hi.
Oh, wait, hold on. What did it say again? The Pongo hops toward with stars in his eyes. Sorry, stares in his eyes. He got stares in his eyes, yo. He's climbing up and down the stairs because they're in his eyes, clearly. He dashes straight for the barrier.
Pongo, wait!
I stretch out my arm and race after him. Pongo, no! Instead of running into a wall, the Pongo passes straight through it, not a sight. Why, cruel world? Why, cruel world? How did he go through? That's a good question. How is he able to get through if none of us can? Kara gapes wide-eyed in the barrier.
I have no idea.
No! Pongo!
Liana looks equally shocked, but for a completely different reason.
We have to find a way to save him. Who knows what could have happened to him when he went through?
She presses up against the barrier and calls out again.
Pongo? Boy?
Blue head pops out of the barrier. What? Hops the rest of the way out.
Boy!
Liana scoops him up in a hug.
Pongo, you're back safe. Boy!
After a second, Pongo wiggles out of her arm and rushes back over to me. Liana pouts and refocuses on the barrier. Amelia places both of her hands back on the barrier, while Liana holds on out her manipulator.
Whatever is beyond this wall hosts a plethora of energy.
Liana nods.
My manipulator confirms that. No wonder the Pongo ran in there.
Zack continues to hang back and observe, but Kara steps closer to the barrier. I wonder if the Pongo was able to get through the barrier because he is apparently supposed to be like consuming crystals and stuff. So because he is, I guess, a creature of a different sort that actually consumes magic, maybe that's the reason why he was able to not even be phased by the magical barrier.
But how did he even pass through?
Liana shrugs. Amelia continues studying the wall, moving her hands up and down.
I do not recognize this magic.
She frowns, deeply disturbed.
Is there anything you can do to break it?
Let's see.
Liana and Amelia both put their hands on the barrier. The manipulators glow. Each transmit pulses of magic, which disperses across the surface in a shimmering wave. I think they're trying to create stress fractures to crack the wall. After a few tries, Liana sighs in frustration and slows back.
Amelia, stand back.
She wordlessly obeys. Liana gathers energy out of gauntlet and strikes the barrier with an empowered strike. Suddenly, golden lettering forms on the barrier. Absolve your world to enter mine. What does that mean? No one answers. Amelia steps forward and focuses on a well of flickering flame.
If I am interpreting this message correctly, we must part with our most precious possession, our world, and throw it in the fire.
Liana nods thoughtfully.
Kind of like we're freeing ourselves.
Kara's face drains of color and she clutches on a pack.
Are you sure?
Yes.
We stand around awkwardly until Liana clears her throat.
If that's what we need to do, then it seems easy enough. I'll go first.
We'll go first, I guess. Maybe. We're doing this for me. I should be the one to go first. Liana blinks, but I step up to the fire before she can object. What do I choose? Wallet, playing cards, Pongo, my wife. Wallet, playing cards, Pongo, my wife. Oh my god, these options. I'm gonna do the wallet. We already spent all our savings there, so I think it's fine. I think we're just gonna take the wallet. Playing cards are rather safe playing cards, but wallet, worldly possessions, give up something of our world so they can pass on to theirs. I think a wallet, particularly, especially since we come from a different world, a wallet would be like really something. I think actually was even invented in this particular time of year. Who knows? Maybe it was. Maybe I'm pretty sure they had like pouches or something, you know, just like money pouches. But a wallet is something that's personal to the world we come from. I fish in my pockets and grab my wallet. My entire identity is in here. My license, student ID, and credit cards. Thought of parting with it makes my chest hurt. Reluctantly, I toss it into the fire and watch the flames lap it up. Then I steal my resolve and slowly step forward, especially since we are giving up all the other things that were in the wallet. As I cross through, I feel the tingle of energy and hear the crackle of electricity. There's a bright light blinding my vision, and I have a flashback of my crossing to Terra. My foot lands on the solid ground, pass through the barrier unharmed. Gradually, my eyes adjust to the dim light, and I see that I'm in a cozy room. Hi? In the middle of the room is a fox, who swishes his tail as it observes me. Beside it, a beautiful woman with flaming red hair. Her delicate hand rests atop of the fox's head. As I look her over, her gaze lands on me. Who are you? The woman blinks at me, then smiles. For a second, I think I see the flame lighting in the room flicker, and the warmth permeates my body. It's pleasant, like an embrace. Although she holds my gaze, she doesn't speak. How'd you get in here? Again, she remains silent, but this time she takes a step closer.
Who are you talking to?
Huh? I peek behind the woman and see Zack standing with an eyebrow raised, his arms crossed. The rest of my companions pause in an inspection of the room, stare at me. Kara stands beside an altar while Amelia and Liana both kneel by the fox. Fox accepts their attention, rhythmically swinging its tail, but otherwise makes no move to respond. Instead, it fixates its attention on me.
Are you talking to the fox?
No. Between you and me, a super hot chick? Oh my god. I don't think they can see her. I don't think they can see her. Yeah, I'm gonna say that. I fall silent as the group casts me worried glances.
Who exactly are you seeing?
There's a woman dressed in red, and she's kind of flamey, and she's standing right there with her pet firefox. We'll probably look like we're on drugs or something. Liana looks towards the fox, but her eyes glaze right over the woman. She furrows her brow, concerned.
Okay.
Her voice is gentle, like she doesn't want to spook me. None of you guys can see her? The group collectively shakes their head. I don't know why you guys can't see her, but I promise you she's there.
Boy.
The Pongo hops out from behind my leg. He first examines the woman with partial interest, then he stares in wonder at the fox.
Boy?
The fox cocks its head to the side and observes the Pongo. Pongo perks up and cautiously bounces forward. He pauses right before the fox. Fox's nose wriggles as it sniffs at the Pongo. Then it switches its tail, and the Pongo squeaks before running back behind my leg.
Boy.
Wait, do you see her too?
Boy.
The woman giggles at the Pongo and gently pats his head. He shivers happily at her touch. Then she straightens up and takes a step closer. Her feet don't touch the ground as her skirt floats ethereally behind her. Instinctively, I back away.
What's going on?
She's getting closer. A lot closer. She pauses once she draws near and touches her palm to my forehead. A pulse of warmth flows through me before she retracts her hand. As if something inside me clicked open, I feel invigorated with restored strength. The stronger I feel, the more translucent the woman becomes. Soon she disappears. Pongo stares at me with renewed interest. Reminds me of that same look he gave me when we first met. He licks his lips. Don't even think about it.
Boy.
The Pongo pouts and lets out a sad sigh. Carol whips her hands in front of my face.
Hey, are you okay? You kind of zoned out there for a second.
I think I'm fine.
What happened?
I'm not too sure.
Where's the woman now?
Actually, she's gone. Amelia reacts to my words about playing with her bracelets. She holds a manipulator up to me.
Curious. I may have a theory.
What is it?
All the energy which had accumulated here has now gathered within you.
I blink as it takes me a minute to register what she just said. Wait, I absorbed the energy? Well, that can't be right.
As I mentioned, it is merely a theory.
Liana looks intrigued.
How is that possible?
I don't know. Felt after she touched me. Liana's eyes widen.
I wouldn't phrase it like that.
Not in a weird way. She just touched my forehead and suddenly I felt a rush of energy. Amelia stares hard at me. What are you looking at me like that?
I am merely anticipating the imminent reaction.
Reaction to what?
The high concentration of energy you just absorbed. The human body was not meant to process such large quantities of energy. At least, that has certainly been the trend with someone from Terra.
Amelia's gaze bores into me as she emphasizes the word Terra, and she looks back down at her manipulator.
Although, 2 minutes have passed, and there seems to be no sign of an adverse reaction.
Why does she sound so disappointed? Did she want to see us die or something? Suddenly, Kara squeals as she gingerly picks a rusty coin out of the remains of a leather satchel.
This is a genuine Vestin coin!
Zack glances at the coin and folds his arms, clearly unimpressed.
How much could a rusted out dated coin be worth?
About a few hundred gold pieces.
Zack's demeanor instantly changes.
You don't say.
Kara smoothly packs the satchel, as Zack covertly searches the room. As Kara finishes up her inspection of the room, Liana looks around.
Well, since we found what we came for, we should head back.
Kara nods and leads the way out. As we leave the room, we notice the fire, which had previously glowed in front of the barrier, is now gone, but all of our items are still intact. Hey, nothing was burning here.
Curious. Then it can be assumed that the purpose of this trial was not to destroy our possessions, but to test our willingness to sacrifice.
Kara happily scoops up her coin purse.
I'm not complaining.
Liana smiles in relief as she reaches in and quickly collects what looks like a ring attached to a thin chain.
Let's keep going.
The rest of us snatch up our items and continue back out the corridor. Trek out of the temple is a lot faster and easier than trek in, mostly because there were no more obstacles to stop us. We pop out of the same hidden wall in which we entered. Just as before, the main ceremonial hall is empty. We wave goodbye to the couple of monks sweeping the entryway. They begin the walk back to the village.